Everybody, thanks for watching. So real quick, we'll get right into this video. Now, I talked about before about America and our situation is not adding up, right? America has been an advertisement for the greatest country in the world since we can remember, especially since, the world wars. But it's not adding up. When you start to compare it to other countries, we can see how far ahead other countries are compared to us. And it's not just in terms of technology, it's just in the state of the country, how the people are treated, how the healthcare works, how the food system works. And I got into this before. It just seems as if we're lacking on things we should not be lacking on. If this is the self-proclaimed greatest country in the world, it's clearly not. You don't really get to see this unless you're a world traveler. The more you travel, the more countries you go to, the more you learn about different systems, the more you see how far back America is. And my whole thing was to point that out and shed light on that because it's a head scratcher. And it being a head scratcher really makes you start to question, like, what the hell is really going on here? And the thing is, again, you start to look at the technologies in other countries and how they have implemented it in ways to benefit the people. And then you look at America and you say to yourself, what the hell is going on? Why haven't we come up to this level of technology as far as benefiting the people? And the convenience that these people have as far as living in their societies that we don't have. And a lot more people have been asking me to elaborate on this more because I talked about it briefly. And I got into it a lot, but it's a lot more to this whole thing. But the thing is, to get people to question all of this and to really think harder about what I'm saying here because something is not right. And it makes it seem as if something is going on here. And I broke that whole thing down, right? So understanding that the founding fathers basically stabbed, King George III in the back. The Masons basically took over this country, as I said before. And now the powers that be, the people that are in control and running this country are not Americans, right? There are people from other countries. And the reason why things are not the way they should be is because these people are not Americans. They don't care about America. They don't care about the American dream. Everything is to sell the American people on this dream that don't exist. Meanwhile, we are paying far too much for something that should be so easy, that is very easy in other countries. You take into account the fact that you go to Thailand, you go to China, and you can rent a 3-bedroom apartment, 2 bathrooms, have a nice kitchen, a pool even, a whole entire house. And Malaysia, Thailand, China, what have you, for under $1,000, right? Your utility bills is going to be very low. So the cost of living for these people is incredibly low, right? So that's one thing. And that is everything for us. When you really start to pay attention, for the most part, everything is about the quality of life. I think people will go out and work, and they'll go out and work hard. If it meant they came home and then they have to worry about bills, they have to worry about mortgage, and they have to worry about putting food on the table, they will go to work, they will come home, and they will be more focused. But this is something that we have to worry about here in this country, and we should not have to worry about it if this is the self-proclaimed greatest country on the planet. But there's a lot that people need to pay attention to, a lot more stuff that people don't understand because they're not really focused on what really matters as far as the quality of life and what we should have as a people running our country, not the government or outsiders running our country. And this is what we have here in America. We have outsiders running this country. And I think people are really starting to wake up to it, but it's starting to show more and more. And again, it goes back to what I talked about before as far as the founding fathers and what they did to secure this country and how the people that are running it now are basically making us pay for it. So the signs are all there. And the signs are showing you that, one, this government doesn't care about its people. For us to not have the basic essential things that a human needs to survive is crazy. And for some reason, we have all just went along and agreed with this whole process that you got to get up and go to work. And the majority of your money is basically going to go to paying bills and fucking surviving in a way that should be very easy in this country, a country that's supposed to be full of abundance and really easy to basically go out and live. We make so much money here. We produce so much here as far as what we put out into this country to benefit its people. And yeah, we import a lot of stuff as well, but there is in no way with the amount of money that we pay in taxes that we should have to worry or stress about anything, especially something like rent or utility bills or what have you. So something to think about. So then now when you couple that with other countries and their quality of life and their systems, and that's the biggest thing I want you guys to come away with, is understanding the systems outside of America and how they work way better than ours. And how is that possible? So when you begin to see, one, as I said, this country has been set up for the powers that be to use to basically take over the rest of the world. And that's really what's going on here. And we have been being used for decades now to make that plan come into place. The biggest thing is the mindset control. So you got to think about, what do you use to control the people, right? And it has been with us, our entertainment. Entertainment has basically controlled this country. And putting out what's popular and putting out what you're going to put into the minds of the people to get them, to influence them on the direction you want them to move. This is how they have been moving for a long time. So we have with popularity, with movies, right? We have musicians, we have comedy, we have athletes, everything to influence the people to go and do. We're living off of influence. Everything is based on influence. Everything we do, all the moves we make is based on influence. The media, the news media tells us about something, we go and do it. Celebrities tell us about something, we go and do it, or what have you. And this is how we move, and this is how we look at each other and judge each other based off of what's popular, right? So to make what's popular, the control mechanism for moving the people has been their major weapon. Plain and simple. And you guys got to really start to see this now. So even when we are facing very harsh times, when we are facing, crippling debt, crazy weather storms, all kinds of life-threatening things, a comedian can come on TV and make it all go away, right? We go on social media and we see memes and jokes to make light of the situation, and we just all brush it off, right? I mean, it could be the most tragic thing you see on social media. You look in the comment section, somebody's making a joke. Somebody has something funny to say, and it's building up to something, and we're not seeing it, right? And it's crazy to look at it this way, but it's the truth. And this is the control that they put in place for us to use this entertainment, our comedy, our I don't give a fuck, to control us and to take us right out of our sovereignty, right out of our real, true status of being sovereign people, of being free people. And this is what's been going on, especially within the Black community, more so, because it has been us who have been largely used as this control, as this power. So you got to start to pay attention to all this. I mean, everything we look at, everything that we're seeing is geared towards our entertainment system. And entertainment is controlling the people. So when you start to see this, when you start to look at it, you can see how things start to shape up. Even somebody like Donald Trump, who came into the limelight, his father was rich. He was rich his whole life. And, when he did The Apprentice, when he just started appearing in movies and becoming more of a celebrity than a businessman, people look towards him for many different things. This is why you see him in the whole banquet with Rosa Parks and Jesse Jackson and what have you, because believe it or not, Donald Trump did shit for Black folks back in the day. One of his best friends is Sugar Ray Leonard. A lot of his friends are Black. He did a lot, right? So we look at this, we look at the celebrity status of him, yet we still let the media tell us that this man is racist. And they convinced us. He comes out and says racist things, weird things. So many different things to get people to find the smallest thing to jump on and label this guy racist or label this person racist. It's what we do. Because no matter how true something is, right? If the media says otherwise, the people are going to believe it. And that goes back to the influence, right? No matter what proof, no matter what evidence you have to go against what's popular, the people are going to believe what's popular. And we've seen that over time. Plain and simple. It's how it is. So it goes back to what I was saying before with celebrities. Why would you risk your life for these people when they're going to believe whatever the media tells them to believe anyway? And this is what's been going on. So I want you guys to understand the control and the weapons that's being used against us as far as entertainment, and how entertainment has been put out there to be the weapon against us, and how we laugh off the most serious things that has been happening against us for a long time. So one of the things a lot of people have been talking about recently is the movie Straw by Tyler Perry's new movie with Taraji P. Henson. And a lot of Black people are asking that question, is Tyler Perry here to make Black women look bad, to make Black men look bad? Because most of his movies have to do with showing Black people in a negative light or a stereotypical light, making it seem as if we can't climb up on our own And I'm not one to defend any celebrity, but that mindset, that control that's out there to project Black people in a certain light is not always to hinder us, but to help us out. Because my thing is a warning. It's in so many movies, especially Tyler Perry's movies, to where he's giving you lessons on, marriage and, Black community, family, everything you can think about. And who else is going to put that message out as we experience in the Black community? It's been Tyler Perry. And whether you like it or not, it's a message that you need to really take heed and learn from and not look at it in a negative way. Now, I can very easily say, hey, Tyler Perry is this, Tyler Perry is that. And, he has that studio because of the type of movie he puts out or what have you. But the stories must be told, and they must be told so you can benefit from them and learn from the messages that's in those movies, right? So regardless if it's Taraji or whoever it is in the movie, the message in the movie is for you to not fall victim like these people in the movie, like Taraji's characters, like the characters that's in a lot of Tyler Perry movies. The way you should treat your wife, the way you should act as a Black man, a Black woman, the things you should have instilled within you to get you to go out and do better in life. Don't always look at it. And it's one of the things I never wanted to really do, to look at every single thing that's out there in media and say, conspiracy, 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 plot, plot, plot. And just understand that some people have a message to put out there. And there's a rhyme and reason behind a lot of the movies that's out there. But you have to remember the biggest thing in all of this is choice. You get to choose whether you want to be like these characters or be like, what happens at the end of the movie. Do you want to solve a problem or you want to be part of the problem? You get to choose what type of life that you want to lead, right? So in this country, we see as Black people, we have been pushed towards this ideology and to the stigma of being a certain type of way. And yeah, movies do influence. Music does influence. But America wasn't built on us destroying ourselves, but us building this fucking country. And we let everything that's out here, all the programming, everything that's going on out here, drive us to exactly where we are, right? So I want you guys to understand that and think about that as far as the influence, the power that's being used, which is us to control the direction of this country, right? Whether you see it or not, it's been us, it's been Black folks. And if we ever got our shit together, we would control and influence the outcome of this country in the direction that it goes into. So I look to the white power structure, but I also look to Black people as to us coming together more and understanding our role in the future going forward. And it's going to be hard for a lot of Black people to grasp that and understand. So to me, as you guys already know, I don't, Black unity, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm always about individuals and individuals getting themselves together, and then unity will be normal after that. Because if you fix yourself and the issues you have with yourself, the coming together will just make sense. It would just be easy. It would be business even. So it's just something we have to do personally first before we can look to everybody who's not whole, who's not conscious, who's not fixed, to just basically come up in a situation they're in right now and be conscious. It's just not going to happen. So as individuals, I look to you guys to be stronger and smarter, more conscious about the surroundings, right? And understanding what's going on. Now, understand that we are powerful and we are weapons that are being used against this country, namely our own people. So I just want to point that out and put that out there real quick before I get back into this. And the reason why this fits in context is because, again, you got to understand how this country was built and how it is the way that it is now. So understand, right? Cat's out of the bag. And now, if you take over this country and you have to look at it and say, well, wait a minute, if the people, the American people, realize that America was basically conquered from within, and that right now there are international businessmen and bankers and other, ruling oligarchs that's controlling this country, the American citizens will go apeshit and they will rip this place apart. So you have to give them an enemy. You have to give them somebody to hate and fear other than the ruling structure, the power structure. When you pay attention, everything has been about the politicians. What are the politicians talking about? We need money for this. We need money for that. And the cause of this is middle class, poor, right? Homeless. Because these people can't get their shit together, it's going to affect the middle class and the rich, right? So middle class people that's working hard, the hard workers is going out there and they're saying, well, we can't really get a leg up. We can only maintain because our tax dollars has to go towards helping these people out, helping out the poor, helping out the sick, or what have you. So we can't really get to where we're really trying to be. So when you add to that racism, right? You add to that racism, you add to that the fear of gangs and the drug epidemic, hip hop music, and everything that's going on with black folks. There you have your enemy. Right now, we already have the tension since slavery. We already had the issues from civil rights. We already have the issues with black people wanting more respect and everything that we're trying to gain and grow as a people to get what we are deserved in this country, to then have to go through with the backlash of the same people that's basically oppressing us, right? So there's this whole community, this whole issue of divide and conquer and oppression, right? So understand the misdirection, because that's what it is, misdirection.